Gino Smith is better than Russell Wilson. We have some buy low, sell high, trade targets. This is the Fantasy Couch Podcast, top 500 fantasy football podcast show out there. And we got a great one for you guys today. Shout out to Monkey Night Fight, our sponsor of the show. Absolutely crushing it on MKF. Let's start off with Thursday night football.
Ouch.
At Fantasy Docs Instagram, that's Fantasy DOCS, and I'm just going to read what he just posted about Russell Wilson's finger. Russell Wilson likely has a mallet finger, which is a rupture of the extensor tendon of the finger, causes the distal end joint to go into a flexed position. You can imagine this would be a big issue for a quarterback. The mechanism is sudden flexion of the DIP joint with the resistance force directed along the long axis of the finger. It's usually a non-operative issue, but the problem is they typically have to be placed in a splint at all times, which keeps the finger in extension for at least a few weeks. He may return this game as the splinting process hasn't started yet, but I imagine they will get MRI tomorrow to determine if he did suffer a true mallet finger, and if so, how long he may miss. True mallet finger would be a multi-week absence.
That doesn't look good or sound good.
When he writes like this, he doesn't write that well because he's rushing to write it, and I'm also butchering reading it too.
The info.
Yeah, so I just want to let you know it's both our faults why that came out all weird when I read it.
Because I should have stopped you halfway through when you went mechanism.
Yeah, that was my fault. He wrote that right, but he also has a bunch of. When he posts as fast as he can, and he has like typos and stuff, and I can't read
like
that
how
crap.
I text normally.
I can't read that. But it's shout out to Fantasy Docs for getting it out there. So what he's saying is it's pretty bad, and I mean that's really I don't really want to talk about this game. I mean, do we have to talk about this game other than the finger? I feel like the finger is very important. Gino Smith.
It looked like he couldn't even grip that tennis ball when he was trying to work on the sideline. Third quarter, fourth quarter, it was. Doesn't look good, honestly.
That was a hacky sack, but whatever.
I guess you're right. It looked like a tennis ball to me.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, but we got some good content, I think, today, so we don't have to spend too much time on this. But a couple players had a couple good games, or a good game. Robert Woods, right?
Robert Woods bounced back, very important. Yeah, Robert Woods. Huge bounce back, and Cooper Kupp didn't completely fail. He had a couple big catches towards the end.
And Darrell Henderson got in the end zone. So did Sony Michel. So the Snake McVay might be coming out the box here, right? Didn't you have a prediction, Mr. McVay?
If you got Henderson, you still should be happy because for a moment, Henderson was doing nothing, and he seemed possibly injured. So you guys should be very thankful, you Henderson owners.
Yeah, that was pretty good for him. I thought he was going to get 2, actually, because, they got down to the 1 yard line there, and that's when Michelle got in. But in any case.
Well, I mean, Robert Woods was important, and I think Stafford hurt his finger too, but he came right back in, and Russell Wilson.
DK with 2 touchdowns.
Finger injury. Yeah,
Lockett had like 2 balls he could have caught, I think, deep that pass interference on one was an overthrow.
I don't know. I'm over this game. People could just look up the stats. I think that's the main important part was Robert Woods and Wilson's finger.
Sometimes I feel like
is settled. This is done.
Yeah, I get you. Sometimes I feel like Lockett just deserves more fantasy points for drawing those pass interference calls. I mean, like that one he could have caught, the dude hits him like a half second too early. No points for that though for anybody, unfortunately. So in any case,
I do have stock in a company that rewards you for pass interference.
See, this is like next level. I think if you go pass interference points, you're making a difference in a game.
It sounds great, but it's like, I mean, we don't need to overcomplicate fantasy though. So like
I'm getting down the rabbit hole here.
it is cool. Like, okay, for that play, let's say you got one, not even like 40, yard. Like, so like not
Yeah,
even
you get like
4
a
points.
half the yardage or something.
What's the big deal? So you get a point, and now your scoring system's all weird. Now you're in a special league where no one understands the scoring system when you
Yeah,
show it.
but there's all types of scoring systems out there. You guys play that realistic one, and you said that there's some crazy scoring settings.
Yeah, that's the
That's the league you would put this
different
in.
league. No,
That's
that's the
the league you would
different.
put this in.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
the
so.
realistic football league
That
would
makes
have the
sense.
reward for
Yes,
drawing
that
that
makes so that's
45-yard penalty.
the biggest difference in that league is the first down points. Well, there's a ton of different things,
See,
but
he
that's
should
the
get a first
biggest
down
one.
there too. Then maybe he should
Yeah,
at least
yeah.
get
No, it's
rewarded
a
the
big
first down
play.
point.
Yeah, that makes sense. In that league, which is this very, very special league, yeah, you could have got maybe, let's say you get 1 or 2 points for that play, which is,
Thank you,
I think,
Dak.
very good. I think that's very good. Yeah, because he just got
Smokes
tackled.
doesn't like it. But if for the realistic league Smos, not for like your standard,
You got to at
redraft league.
least count that as a first down at the very
Right.
least.
And I'm talking like a really intricate scoring league, not anything you would play
Like
with
out
your
like
work league.
that. Yeah, I forgot we're in that league all of a sudden.
Yeah, sorry.
I pay somebody to operate that league for me, so I just forgot. I'm in like
How are you
20
doing in that
leagues.
league?
We're
Yeah,
doing
you didn't do
great.
so good last week. What was your record? Did you want to bring that up at all? I mean, I know you'll bounce back, but hey, got to
That
address
was
the haters.
it was one of the worst weeks in fantasy. 5-9 last week in 14 leagues.
It's okay. Hussein's on the bounce back this week, guys.
Yeah, we'll see. I've been getting unlucky. Now I know how it feels like to get points scored on me and just a bunch of weird stuff happening. So hey,
I tied
should
last
bounce
week.
back.
I tied. I showed you the score. It was like
That's crazy.
139.42. We tied to the 100th decimal. I mean, that's legit great. I mean, right? Like we actually got a tie through sleeper. They didn't actually use the bench scoring. I was telling the guys in the chat, I said, remember back in the day when they used to use bench scoring? Because we only scored by the point. So it was like 118 to 118. And then, okay, we got to use your bench scoring to determine the tiebreaker. That's long gone, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, because of the decimal points, we don't really. No one cares about the tiebreakers. So you guys tied, and I think it should be a tie. To be
Yeah, I
quite
like
frank,
it.
it should
It
be a
helps in
tie.
playoffs
Because
sometimes.
what's bench points? That's stupid. Like that doesn't
For
make any
sure.
sense. Like
Really deep benches, half people have COVID,
it doesn't make any sense. But those things happen like 1 in a million to tie to the decimal in a normal league. So
Yeah.
this is something I never wish my opponent good luck because I just don't think it's genuine.
Do you say good game? That's another thing.
Yeah, I say
That's like
good
an
game
etiquette thing.
after. I'm all about sportsmanship and stuff. That's just one of the things that I never got, and so I just personally don't wish anybody good luck because I mean I don't want them to have good luck.
Because you truly aren't wishing them good luck. Like
Yeah, I'm
you're just
truly a
saying it.
competitor. Yeah, like I
Right.
want
I
them to
get you.
lose. I want any way you're gonna lose. I want that to happen. As long as you're okay as a human, like as long as
Because it's just fantasy football at the end of the day. Right?
yeah. I mean, as long as you're good, like I mean, whatever misfortunes happens to your team, I mean, whatever it takes for me to get the win. But yeah, afterwards, of course, I say good game. I'm all about like I'm not gonna get like all about the sportsmanship. That's just one aspect that I don't get. So I never wish my opponent good luck. Rather be out fishing. I hope I beat you in both of them, but I know you're going to be a worthy opponent. That's for sure. I already know that. I'm going up against Woods in a few leagues. I don't even know what the heck's going on. What kind of luck is this? He's doing crap, and now he's getting like 20 targets, and I'm going up against him.
I wanted to go back to this point. That's actually a good point that Chris makes. Percent of max possible points would be an optimal tiebreaker. Not this is going to happen very often, guys, but we're just going back to that.
I don't like it. I just think it should be a tie. What's wrong with the tie? That's the thing.
Well, we were just saying if there was one, but I get you. I'm with you. There should be a tie.
This doesn't.
I'm 2-1-1, 2-1-1 in that league, and I'll take it. So moving on.
Yeah.
Let's move on to this next topic you wanted to have some time on.
Oh, somebody wanted to talk about Cordarrelle Patterson, and here he is. So there's a lot of fantasy content out there. Look, I know I'm not going to get offended. 2/3 of the people listening or watching watch other fantasy analysts. It's fine. This is the world we live in. Like it's gonna happen. Probably more than 2/3 of you guys. And so every analyst right now is talking about sell high on Cordarrelle Patterson, this and that. Okay, it makes for cool content. I'm like somebody just mentioned, obviously something that people want to talk about, and what people want to talk about is what you should be talking about as a content provider. But let's be real here. Patterson does not have a big name, and fantasy owners get smarter and smarter every year. So I am generalizing just like everyone else a little bit. And I don't think this is an easy sell high. I don't see, if we're talking about a 1-for-1 trade, I honestly don't see a great trade, a realistic trade where you can sell Cordarrelle Patterson. I really don't. I mean, who would you get for Cordarrelle Patterson where you would absolutely smash the trade, like accept trade button? You would smash the trade button. Let's draw right now on this podcast. Let's draw a line
This is
in the
tough, but I get
sand
you.
to where you would smash the button. Now, would you
Kareem Hunt.
trade? You would trade him for Kareem Hunt?
I think Kareem Hunt's better at doing the same exact thing Cordarrelle Patterson's doing, basically.
And what's the difference then? I mean,
I think he's more efficient on a better offense, and you can trust at least.
You can trust Kareem Hunt more.
Right, and Baker's shoulder should, I don't know how that all situation is going to work, but he should defer more, I'm thinking, to shorter routes, handing it off. And Cleveland's good at running the ball anyways. I mean, both running backs get their work.
Val, I'm disappointed in this question, to be honest. Patterson a must start this week with Ridley out and going against the Jets. This is beyond a must start, right? This is starting to reach elite territory now with Patterson. It's really now how much of an RB1 or wide receiver 1 is Cordarrelle Patterson is really the question. Is he elite or is he good? That's more of the question. Of course, he's a must start with Ridley out. Now, I mean, you were already probably starting Patterson. Now it's like, yeah, you really want to start Patterson. So that's all I really wanted to say is I'm down to sell high on him, and I think Drew, when last time we drew a line in the sand,
I like Kareem Hunt.
It was with Kareem Hunt as well. Was that?
I didn't know if you were going to go back. Yeah, that was.
It was Darrell Henderson. Who would you draft Darrell Henderson? And you said I would draft Kareem Hunt over Darrell Henderson.
Right. It was because Akers had just gotten hurt.
Yeah, and that was right after that. You're like, then after Kareem Hunt's taken, then I'd take Henderson. Which
I'm a Kareem Hunt guy this year. I have him 2 redraft leagues, so I'm definitely into that.
It aged just fine. It aged just fine. Kareem Hunt's been winning at least one league for me last week, so that was great. So this has aged well.
Who would you trade him for, though? I would be curious to know.
I need like Antonio Gibson.
Okay.
From him, and I just don't think you can get him because Antonio Gibson was drafted in round 1. David Montgomery would be a great target, but that man's going to miss 5-6 weeks. I don't know if you can afford that. A lot of teams, when you do that, you're too cocky, or you're really not thinking, and now you're starting to get out of playoff contention if you do trade for David Montgomery, with his injury. Man, that's just I need too much for Cordarrelle Patterson, and maybe that's because I'm stingy with the trades and too greedy, but I don't see a realistic trade. Maybe you can get Mark Andrews for him, or I don't know. Maybe there's a guy on here, but see, I wouldn't even.
Antonio Brown. Is that too low?
That's way too low. Yeah, I mean, wouldn't you rather have Kareem Hunt than Antonio Brown?
Very true. You're right.
Yeah.
That's
so
good correction.
So Kareem Hunt would be. I think that's a great trade. That's a name I didn't think of. I think Kareem Hunt would be a nice even trade and a guy you can rely on more, because I'd rather have a Browns running back than a Falcon. Do I read this?
No, I was just kind of putting it up there because Dak had a point. But no. We can go into next topic, or if you want to
let's do a couple questions. Ad read really quick.
We'll get these questions, guys. You can keep throwing them in the chat, and I'll come back and I'll pull them up in just a moment. So
let's probably hold off on the questions unless they're relevant to exactly what we're talking about, and then we'll do a Q&A.
Yeah, at the
end, unless they add something directly to what we're already saying. So Monkey Knife Fight is the sponsor, and we absolutely crushed it last week. Look at these picks. I have just to sum it up because it gets so complicated. I pushed it, man. I said I'm going frisky, I'm going crazy, and I did. So just to kind of sum this up, especially to the audio listeners, this is roughly about 14 picks I made and missed on 3 of them. I mean, it's pretty
That's a good
crazy.
percentage.
Pretty crazy. And
11 for 14. Nice.
one of them was an injured player, Teddy Bridgewater. May not have hit, whatever.
And one's Pat Mahomes. You
One
got to
Pat
think he's
Mahomes
going
who doesn't make any sense. This still doesn't make any sense. I said Patrick Mahomes will throw for more than 310 yards. He put up he had 40. How many fantasy points did he have? 37, 40 fantasy points, some crazy, and 5 touchdowns. And he didn't hit on that. Whatever. Still though, hitting 11 out of 14, that's just nuts. So guys, it's super stupid easy to play and easy to win. It's daily fantasy props game. So all you do, you just pick, oh, this guy's going to throw for more yards, or this guy's going to get a touchdown. That's it. You can put $2 on it. You can put $5 on it. You can put $100 on it. Whatever you want. It's super easy. So what was Mahomes' stat line?
278 yards, 278 yards. Geez, 5 touchdowns passing and 1 interception. He was 24 for 30 on his attempts.
Jeez, that's
crazy,
incredible.
5 touchdowns. I mean, that's just.
And he still didn't get this was
he
the game.
300 yards by the third quarter. I mean,
yeah,
usually
this was I was like, this game's gonna be kind of like this. This is what I was thinking, and it was even more higher scoring and higher octane, and it didn't. But whatever, no excuses. It's still overall just absolutely crushed it. I had Tyreek Hill in the touchdown dance, absolutely crushed it. Well, this week, this is my picks. I'm gonna reel it back this week. I'm gonna go easy. I'm only gonna target one contest, one game. And I'm looking at the Cowboys Giants game. Ladies and gentlemen, this has all the checks, all the I's are dotted, the T's are blah, blah, blah. All the green check mark emojis are here. Okay. High scoring game. And we have workhorse running backs that are good. Just everything aligns. I guess the only bad thing about this is why I haven't finalized my pick, is that there's some injury concerns, technically questionable. So let's just wait for Friday's practice reports to come out. Some people listening to this, that'll already come out by that time. So what you're going to do is go to new Monkey Knife Fight. You're going to go to new game. You're going to pick the Cowboys Giants game. And then you're going to go pick, if he's playing, pick Zeke.
I'll go back to that.
Pick Saquon in the touchdown dance, and then pick Tony Pollard. Other options are going to be Amari Cooper and then CeeDee Lamb. Now, if Zeke is out, this actually makes this way easier. If Zeke is out, I'm going Pollard, Saquon, and Cooper. That's it. And for some reason, Cooper's out. Go Saquon, Pollard, and CeeDee. Now, I don't want this. I'm trying not to make this complicated or anything like that. But essentially, new game. Cowboys, Giants, right? We're going to go to the touchdown dance. I like to pick the lowest goal. So all we need is 2 touchdowns from 3 players we're going to pick, 3 flex players. There's Zeke, Saquon, and Pollard. Right now, guys, Saquon Barkley has a 76% chance to get at least 1 touchdown. Peep this. Ezekiel Elliott, if healthy, my algorithm is showing that he has a 52% chance to score more than 1 touchdown. Just those 2 alone, it's crazy. And then I'm saying, if anything were to happen to Zeke or any vultures or anything, Tony Pollard has nearly around a 40% chance to get in the end zone himself. This is pretty good. I don't know. This is a good one. And I love these picks. So Dak is saying, is there a max buy-in? So it's called a buy-in when you put into the Monkey Knife Fight. I honestly don't know. I know I've done 100. So I'm going to go look right now. You just pick 2, 5. I don't think you want to do more than 100 or 200. I'm going to go right now to this one. So I'm going to new game.
From fishing. Deposited 100 on Knife Fight last week and got 205 after their offers and already up to 305. Good for you, man.
Oh yeah. With
You have
all
to pay
the
attention to these picks.
yeah, and they like I got so go to last week. So the reason I entered the same exact contest last week, they'll do this like on a regular basis.
You wouldn't pull it up for the
Drew, go to my picks last week. What do you go up?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
What are you doing?
I was gonna
So
you're
this
right.
is the two of the same
I was pulling
exact
from my
one
phone.
right here. Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, and Miles Sanders in the touchdown net. That's because they gave me free $10 play. Like I didn't even know they had some additional promo going on, and they emailed me hey, we'll give you another $10, but you got to enter it like soon. And I was like, well, I already know which pick I like, so I went back, did the exact same pick, and that's why $30 buy-in, and we win $60. Pretty easy because Tyreek Hill covered that himself. But I'm looking at this right now. I see a $250 one. I don't think you can do them custom. No, so I guess 250 might be the max. I don't know. But you can do more than one ticket. I've never done more than 100, so I don't know personally. But it seems like you can do 100 and then do the same one, do 100. They just try to make it super easy for you, and so yeah. I mean, if you want to go 100 or 250 and just keep going, I don't think there's a limit. I don't think there's a limit.
That game, Giants Cowboys, I think it's the game of the week, nationally televised game. It's going to be a barn burner. I'm excited to see that one. I got guys on both sides, of course, for fantasy, but big time scoring, I believe.
Yeah, it's Vegas has it as a high scoring game, so it checks all the boxes. So yeah, guys, don't want to keep talking about this forever. Appreciate you guys being into this though, and we just keep crushing it. We just keep winning it, and yeah, man, I've been doing great on there, and glad my picks are hitting because I care. I want you guys to win. So to head on over there, just follow the link below in the description. It's gonna be playmkf.com/couch. Drew, bring it up, bro. What are you doing? You're slacking.
Well, I thought you just said to point below to the description.
No, I'm talking to
Go
the
ahead.
people. Why are you listening?
No, you
to
got
me?
it. No,
Talking to the people. Telling the people is giving the people call to action so they can play. Go to playmkf.com/couch. Just follow my link. Use promo code couch. You're going to get $5 free of free play on there. And with the promo code couch, you're going to get 100% deposit match up to $100. That's right. Just follow my link. Use promo code couch. Let's go win on MKF. Let's head on over to the buy lows and sell highs. Hopefully what I said about Cordarrelle Patterson made sense. I try not to sound like I'm on the fence and wishy-washy, but I think that's just the most real, genuine way to describe Cordarrelle Patterson, instead of being like, oh, he's never going to keep up this production, sell high. Oh, and I do have a stat. Like sometimes I don't throw it. This man is last week, he averaged his actual statistic, guys. I'll throw it out there. Over 1.5 fantasy points per snap. So obviously people's going to be like, sell high. He can't, he can never do this type of efficiency. He can't put up these numbers. Like, duh. Also, the person you're trading with is not going to be a complete idiot most of the time. All right. Okay. Maybe there's one complete idiot per league. I get that. Maybe that guy might buy it. But most of the time when you're trading with someone, they're not going to be that stupid to be like, oh, who's that guy? Cordarrelle Patterson. Wow. He's amazing. Is he like the next Christian McCaffrey? Oh, wow. So it's easier said than done to sell high on him. So it is what it is. Now I got some real targets that you can really do it. And I always say this, I am in such a good position that, and I listen to you guys. Sometimes you guys piss me off. Sometimes you guys say dumb stuff. Sometimes you guys make fun of me. Sometimes when you make fun of me, though, it's good. Like it gets me thinking better. Like it helps. And so I do appreciate the feedback. Sometimes you guys come up with great ideas. But nonetheless, I do listen and I always have an open mind. I know what the people's thinking. And right now, it's all a bunch of, we're going to get to that right here. Patterson for Kittle. It's all about selling and panicking on George Kittle. And I don't want to get too much into this because I just did a video of my rankings where I rambled on about the Niners and Kittle for a long time. I thought it was great. I think it's good content. So I won't try to repeat the exact same stuff, but essentially everyone's hitting the panic button on Kittle. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to
No.
hold off on hitting that button. Um, Jimmy G is terrible. Let's see how this offense is with Trey Lance. And I've loved Deebo since he was a prospect before he got drafted. So I don't think you can qualify me if you want to go to the extreme. Say I'm a homer and I love Deebo because he's a Niner. I mean, it doesn't add up because I loved him as before he got drafted, and Trey Lance, I loved him even more than Deebo before he got drafted. So I
Oh
don't think
yeah.
that's gonna hold up right in court. Like I've been posting Trey Lance content, said before he got drafted when he was in a green uniform. I don't think it's gonna hold up. And let's just see how this offense does with Kittle. Let's talk Ayuk, Drew, to tie this all together.
Yep.
How depressing is Ayuk? Like how much does he say? How much confidence do you have in Ayuk?
I'd say if it's a percentage, we're at like 50% confidence at this point. Now
In
my
redraft?
hope, yeah, and I'm an optimistic person, so don't get me wrong. If it's dynasty, I'm holding because I feel like long term it's going to be okay. But for this season, with all the different issues you've already had, so to speak, in practice and training camp, getting acclimated, was injured a little bit, was supposed to be punt returner, hasn't done that until like I think 2 weeks ago, and still hasn't looked good really in any of the games. Yeah, I'm not super high on him at this point, but I'm high on him for dynasty still.
Yeah, I mean, you're just not like I don't know, man. He's the third option in this offense. I think it's all about the running back.
He's still young though, right?
Deebo. Yeah, I'm not. We're
For
talking about this.
dynasty.
We're talking about this year, though. This
And yeah,
year.
and that's right. That's I'm
Yeah,
just trying to give perspective.
I'm bringing up Ayuk to talk about Kittle. That's the only reason I'm talking about Ayuk because this is not like Ayuk is not content. Like no one's starting him. No, like people are
Yeah.
borderline dropping him. Like so that's not. I'm putting in Ayuk to talk about Kittle as in like who else is going to catch the ball? Like this is the playmaker we're looking at right here on the video. Is George Kittle. The other playmaker is Deebo. Like this is evident. Ayuk is the third option at best. And don't hit the panic button. Let's see what this offense can do. As far as Trey Lance, there's a lot of hate for him. Like people think he can't throw this and
Oh
that.
yeah.
I mean, but when I see deep, this is how you guys. This is the number one way to watch film. For people that are like trying to watch film, just started a year ago, 2 years ago, or just want to start and haven't started yet. My number one advice for watching film is watch what defenders do, what the defense does. Because it's so hard to be like, is this guy fast on the field? You can't see that on tape. So, but when you see like four defenders look slow when he's running by, then he's fast. That's how you
Right.
know. And so I'm looking at Trey Lance, and these experienced defenders are terrified of him. So that alone is going to open up a lot. That combined with Shanahan drafting him so early and Shanahan coming up with these awesome plays. Let's just see what Kittle's going to do. He keeps getting more and more targets every week. He's on my buy low list. I would buy low. And this is all about mentals and stuff. So I am focusing. So like I asked Drew and we text Mike. Mike can't make it, but we're texting up to the minute of the podcast. You guys came up with some pretty good names. I didn't put in here because I know how people feel about these players. I know that
Yeah, I
some
figured you
players
would.
hold a big name. Some players have a positive perception. They have high stocks. Some players have low stocks. I know I read all this. Like I get 100 DMs, 100 comments every single day, hundreds. Like I
Tweets and
see
everything.
every day, tweets, DMs on Instagram, Facebook. Like people hit me up on Sleeper randomly. Like, hey, Patreon, everywhere, YouTube. I'm seeing it. And right now, everyone's panicking on Kittle, but some of these other names, it's going to be harder. I'm telling you. That's why I talked about Patterson is in like, sure, it's ideal to sell high, but you're dealing with another human. And I think right now you can get Kittle, especially if they have like a tight end who like they think is good that's sitting in, just chilling, you can
Well,
go get Kittle.
I think Lance is going to get there, maybe not super quickly, but in the broadcast last week, the announcer said something, and there was an interview with Kittle. Kittle said Garoppolo just throws the ball with a little more touch, and that Lance hasn't got there yet with his touch. And you see it when Lance was in the pocket scrambling, and then he would throw a rocket, and it would go like right through Deebo's hands or Ayuk's hands.
At
It's like
least the defenders weren't catching it, though.
at least they weren't going back the other way, right? But still, I think just in a few maybe weeks' time, if he gets that touchdown, then he can throw these nice veteran passes with, just the right pace.
Other than that Saints game a couple years ago, like Jimmy G's, like his success when like Kittle goes off and stuff has mostly been Shanahan plays.
Oh, yeah. And Kittle
Misdirection.
making that more out of it than it is, like taking it for 30, 40 yards.
Yeah, he's a yak monster. So is Deebo. So I like Kittle. I'm concerned about the injury.
This is definitely coming up, by the way, Chris. I just wanted to add.
I don't think Kittle is. I'm worried about him too a little bit. Like, I'm not saying he's going to be a stud or anything. I'm just saying, like, people are trying to ship him for so cheap, and we don't want to do that. So Kittle
there's no
is
way.
a buy low because of the price. Let's move on to the next guy.
Next up, we have Mr. A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown, right now, I see him in a lot of trades, and I don't know. I'm offering there's some good buy low, sell high lists, and I'm sure you guys have them too. But I'm bringing this different perspective, as like I'm seeing what the people are saying. I have my ear to what the public is saying, and I'm seeing AJ Brown get traded for really cheap right now. And so he's coming back from an injury, and he's been getting a couple limited participations in practice, and that's aligning with him starting because that's what he's been, he's been limited before he was injured as well. So it seems like he's going to play, and he's playing against the Jags, and then boom, his stock will fly after this. On top of that, I have this thing called a gut feeling that he's going to go off this week against the Jags, and also Julio's trending towards not playing. I mean, this guy's back. Like, I can smell it. I can smell this burnt Jaguar skin and
I think
Jaguar roadkill. I can smell it right now.
You and Fishing have great points. I think he's definitely going to be on the trend, on the upward trend. He's just too good, and he's physical. Like, he just blows some of those cornerbacks off the line sometimes with his speed and his physicality. And then he makes catches like DK Metcalf can make, like jumping up and flying over Moss and guys. So if Tannehill can get him the ball, get it down the field, which I know he can, Derrick Henry can keep him in the box. Could be some one-on-ones.
You're making good points. I just want to say my perspective with all these buy low, sell high is the price of the stock.
You're a price guy, yeah.
Yeah, I got you. And right now, I don't need to explain why or how. I don't know the answer sometimes. I don't know why or how necessarily his stock is this low. Yeah, he's injured. He hasn't done. I know all that, but I'm just saying right now his stock is super low. The price is super cheap. And so you can sneak in. Probably a package deal might work best. 2-for-2 trade. Go get AJ Brown before he plays the Jaguars, which is coming up here in a few hours.
Yeah, he's a legit specimen. So moving on.
Next buy, DeAndre Hopkins. I think it's really this guy's health. Like, is he healthy? Is he fully healthy? I think that's my only question. That's the only worry, because he's still DeAndre Hopkins.
He's still 24th ranked wide receiver 2 at this point, right?
Well, just the last 2 weeks, he hasn't done much. But look, he's got the quarterback. He's got other wide receivers to draw coverage away. We saw a lot of James Conner and Chase Edmonds. That's not going to happen a lot of weeks as far as like touchdowns and whatnot.
Edmonds looked good. He was breaking that long run at the end of the game.
It's going to be more Kyler, though. Like, I feel like that's the game script. It's going to be a little bit more Kyler. It's going to be a little bit more passing. I think we saw a little bit too much of that the past 2 weeks. They're 4-0 also, and they're the hottest team right now. I'm not trying to say anything bad about the team, but it's just odds say that they're not going to keep that up. They're not going to win 16 games in a row. They're not going to win 17 games. I mean, they're going to lose some games. It's going to be some different types of game scripts. Like, it's bound to happen. So as long as Hopkins is healthy, you may be able to buy low on him as well. This is another guy that's popped up a lot when I'm reading messages and comments, and I've been seeing him in a lot of cheap trades. The other two were way more obvious. AJ Brown was going cheap in like 100 trades. Kittle was going even cheaper in like 100 trades, and I've seen Hopkins' name pop up a couple of times as well. So just giving you another option, and quite frankly, it's incredible that you can get a guy that's this reliable, this tough, and his quarterback is he the hottest quarterback right now, Kyler?
He is going to be definitely like top ranked. I can check for you.
No, I'm just saying like the hottest, like the best. Like the best, I mean, not necessarily fantasy. I'm just saying, like,
him and Patrick Mahomes. Yeah,
him and Mahomes right now.
1A, 1B right now.
Yeah, let's say I would agree with that.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, like right now he's one of the hottest, if not the hottest quarterback. He's just on fire. I mean, the guy's playing. He's playing out of control. Like nobody wants to play against the Cardinals right now.
Yeah, he's elite. I mean, if there's a elite quarterback out there, him and Patrick Mahomes would fall into that. In my opinion.
Funny. Last year, I had a debate was well, not really a debate. I was agreeing with him basically. He was saying that this is before Deshaun Watson, with the massage parlors and all, before any of that news. He's saying the Cardinals should go trade for Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson would be better than Kyler. I'm like, yeah, he would be. But right now, let's say pretend Deshaun Watson was an angel off the field and none of these off the field things existed at all, right? He was good. I'd rather have Kyler. Would you rather have Kyler or a clean Deshaun Watson?
Oh, man, that's tough. That's really tough. I think I would lean Kyler just because I've seen him more recently ball out. I mean, Deshaun Watson hasn't necessarily balled out, and last time he did, he had DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, so yeah, it's just like more of a recent bias.
Though.
I would just say it's more of a recent bias in my mind right now that I just can't like tell you like wholeheartedly that I would take Watson over Kyler.
It's not biased. Deshaun Watson was great last year, and I'm not just looking at stats or who he like. He was great. He was elite, very, very top good, 5 still. He's still top 5, but we've seen Deshaun Watson. If he hasn't peaked, which is not a negative term, right? If he hasn't peaked, he's closer to his peak. Like we've seen a large sample size of Deshaun Watson to have a better idea of his career. And this is, of course, like hypothetical on top of a hypothetical. Because right now, this guy's a healthy scratch on the crazy fret. Like we know what's going on in real life. It's depressing, but this is we're just talking here. So he's great, but I think he's peaked or reached closer to his peak way more so than Kyler, who is just starting to play football, it seems like. And every year, like he's getting better and better. And then this year, I was right about one thing about Kyler. I'm like, look, he's not going to run as much and this and that. And like, the run, but like that's because he's playing way better as a quarterback and he doesn't have to. And the team doesn't know if Connor's going to get the ball. All the running lanes are open. Every lane's open because it's so hard to defend this team because Kyler could go up any side at any given time. Kyler could get 7 to 10 yards on the sideline. And
then baseball slide in a second and he's safe.
Exactly. Yeah. And he seems like he's giving me more confidence that he's not going to get hurt. Like before, I was very scared. I was very scared last year. Oh, he's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt.
Lamar doesn't take the hits. He's learning from that. I mean,
well, Lamar's taking hits, but he's slippery though. So he's like Kamara. He's like he avoids the big hits, but
his juke is out of control.
Yeah, he avoids the big hits, but he runs like a running back. Kyler is a little bit more. Kyler's like a much quicker Russell Wilson is one way to put it. Lamar is just when he takes off, he's nasty, man. He's like Cordarrelle Patterson out there. I don't know what to say.
It could be just one, one cut and he's gone.
Yeah, he's different. No, Kyler is I'm less worried about him getting injured. So Yeah, I think Hopkins is one to explore, and this is a little bit more boutique selection here, a little bit more niche. But Kittle and AJ Brown for sure. Okay, let's go on to the
Now
sell
we're
high.
selling.
This is not so good. I wanted to look. People actually, I want to do buy low, sell high because three people have hit me up the past couple of days, like buy low, sell high. I was like, I don't want to just like I had a couple names ready. I was like, let me think about this, and I'll do it on the podcast. And so at least I have some. I like the buy lows I have. I don't have a lot of sell highs. This is it, and I actually don't really like this one that much. I'm being honest, right? The first two I really loved. Hopkins, it's going to be tougher because he does have a big name. But stock is kind of low right now with Hopkins. Good enough worry, right? Like, shh, be quiet because don't let people know. I'm telling you, people are worrying because they're keeping it on the DL. Okay,
Yeah, I
don't
hear
make it
you.
too loud. So because that's on the DL. So I'm thinking sell high on Hollywood Brown. Doesn't have a big name, left a sour taste in people's mouths last year, and that's still
Big
carrying
time.
on a little bit. So his stock is not incredibly high, not a huge name. Like people don't love him necessarily, but this is what people have been saying. He's been saying he's a must start every week. People have been saying, don't sell him. Like don't bench him. He's got it. Like this is his year. And so that's why I think you can sell him for something good. To me, he's just another wide receiver. I feel like I can fill in his role with so many other players. Like Cole Beasley this week might go off. Um, I might want to get another tight end.
Marquise
Marvin
Brown is,
Jones. Marvin
yeah,
Jones will probably do better than him this week. I'm thinking. So I think you can, if you can find someone who absolutely loves Hollywood Brown, because right now his stock is pretty high, and I still like him. Like I said, this is not a pick, a recommendation that I absolutely love. I kind of did it in order. I love the first two, and then Hopkins was an okay buy low, and this one is like, hey, if you find the right buyer, sell, because this is just a wide receiver, guys. You can replace wide receivers.
yeah. I mean, I think Marquise Brown, he's definitely a great talent. He's number 13th ranked, by the way, in PPR settings for fantasy football this year. So if there's any selling point a owner could use, it is that he is just outside wide receiver one territory at this point. But yeah, I definitely would sell high on him too. I'm actually the one that texted you this idea for selling Marquise Brown high, just because I think you can upgrade and get someone else who's going to be better rest of the season.
Yeah, and then we got Rashod Bateman coming back
Another good point. Yeah,
in
you
about
got
five
Bateman coming
seconds
back.
here.
Not that he's going to have this overpowering,
Yeah,
force.
he's gonna be eased in, but
Not
it's
eased in.
it's it's
Yeah,
another factor though, and I think it's one that people are overlooking because everyone would. Oh my god, I get harassed with Rashod Bateman all the time, and so that I haven't heard that name in so long. Like,
I'm a Bateman hoarder this year. I've been hoarding some Bateman stock
well, you're
just for the
playing a
right
lot more
time.
Dynasty too, though.
No, actually, in redraft, I don't have any stock in Dynasty, so I'm looking for some.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna. I don't know if that's gonna
Yeah, I
work
won't
out
be able
for
to get
you.
it now. I won't be
But
able to get it now.
hopefully you got IR spots in those leagues. So.
Oh, I have it in Draft Party League. Yeah, I do. And then I have him in our Patreon league too. So there's no IR spots, but enough
But
roster space.
it's a deep bench, yeah.
So Fishing has a question. I'll read it. It says, "Would you guys rather have D Hop or Thielen and Hollywood Brown?" So we're talking about D Hop for Thielen and Hollywood Brown. This must be a trade.
I So most people play PPR three wide receiver flex, and in that type of league, I'd rather have Thielen and Hollywood.
Okay. I think you're probably right. I think I would still foolishly maybe go D Hop just because I think he's going to have monster games. Monster games. Here's
Well,
one for you.
see in that I don't love depth at wide receiver, but in that case, that's an exception to where I'd be like those two you can start. Those are upper echelon starters, Thielen and Hollywood.
You got a point. You got a point.
And
It's
you're
like
gonna start both of them. Yeah. So now in most leagues you start four wide receivers, right?
it's like
So
high quality over quantity in this
yeah,
case.
so
You know what
you're
I mean?
gonna
Like, or vice
start
versa.
both those
High,
guys. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I'm thinking are you starting Thielen or Hollywood? Like 9 times out of 10, you're going to be starting both those guys in your lineup. There's also bye weeks coming up.
Big,
This is an
big,
18-week
big point.
season, folks. We've never experienced this. Bye weeks are just starting to come. This is the first time we're experiencing an 18-week season. This is the first time we're going to be experiencing bye weeks in an 18-week season. I don't know. Does that mean anything? You can say no, shut up. Doesn't mean anything. We don't
I
know
think it
yet.
does.
Well, I
We'll
think it
find
does
out.
too. We're gonna, yeah,
Right, no.
exactly. We're gonna
I really
find
think it
out.
will. I think like the war of attrition is about to
Yeah,
start. With a
something.
lot of teams in
Yeah,
redraft and dynasty, because you know how dynasty is a little more spread out sometimes in terms of the talent. Like some teams have a lot of it, the other teams are tanking. So that war of attrition's coming soon, guys, big time. Next question though, I wanted to go back to this one I popped up on the screen, and then he says, we'll say Icy from Twitch says Devonta Smith or Cole Beasley in the flex this week, and then he adds, it is. Oh, sorry. It is full PPR.
I'm going Devonta Smith, and this is a very tough question.
I
Very
liked it.
tough. Yeah, the Bills are gonna throw the ball, and Cole Beasley could go off, but I think Devonta Smith slowly is becoming the alpha receiver that we thought, and that's why I think it's going to be a more concentration of targets. Think of Devonta Smith like like a Lockett or Metcalf. He's just one of those guys. As far as Beasley, look, remember Gabe Davis was the man for like a game and a half. Remember Emmanuel Sanders was getting at, Diggs.
Oh
Now
yeah,
it's Dawson Knox, it's Zach Moss, and in DFS I'm always preaching Singletary. He never hit the touchdown like I wanted to, but it's been a 50-50 split between Singletary and Zach Moss. Like
yeah.
we've seen a lot of different weapons, and it's working out for the Bills, and they've been playing a lot better defense. Throw that out the window in this high scoring Chiefs game. They're going to be slinging it, but I'm going with the concentration of targets. Devonta Smith, Cole Beasley is like 32 years old. Devonta Smith, he might just take a leap. You never know. He might just take a leap forward and just start getting better all of a
Oh,
sudden.
he's been good. I think he
Yeah,
had
I'm not
7
saying he's
catches
been
last game
bad.
and 110 yards, I believe. But yeah, I agree with you. This is a tough call, but I would lean Devonta Smith's way.
Yeah,
I got a dynasty question here from Sal. Got offered Clyde Edwards-Helaire for Javonte Williams straight up in dynasty. What do you think? I'm on Javonte Williams' side. I'm on Javonte
Yeah,
Williams'
go with
side here.
Javonte. You know what it is. In real life, this could. I don't know. Actually, in real life, I'd do it too. But it says like like kind of like curiosity killed the cat. Like what's behind door A. Gosh, Drew, what's
Sorry,
going
my
on?
cat's
Oh my god, we
my
already
cat's
know
intruding.
this. We already know what's behind door A, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but we don't quite know what's behind door B. We know like one of the prizes door B may have behind it. But we don't know exactly what's behind door B. That's why I'm going door B. I hope
Yeah,
my
I'm gonna
answer
go.
makes sense. I love
No,
it.
I
I
like
love
the
my
analogy.
answer.
I like the analogy. Javonte, I've
We
seen him.
change it up. We can't have the same answer every time. We gotta use doors. We gotta, what do we do? Snakes last? I don't know what we're doing.
You're right. No, we're going from snakes to doors. But no, Javonte Williams, I think he's a really good overall back, actually. After watching him the last few weeks, I'm pretty darn impressed. And I was already impressed watching him in his tape out of college. So there is a question that Chris brought up. Do you want to get to that trade that you guys talked about, or should we do a couple more
We
questions
can
here?
do whatever. Let's see the trade. I mean, you talked about it, so now it's weird to not
Okay.
show it.
I do want to bring this up here. So I guess this was a trade that happened today, guys, between Hussein and Chris Smose from. Can you tell us the league and some of the
It's the
settings? There?
Couch Dynasty League. I mean, it doesn't really matter because it's a wide receiver for wide receiver.
Okay, I get it for sure. So
It's
it's not like one of those 2 wide receiver leagues that you hate wide receivers in.
Well, I mean, it's a wide receiver for a wide receiver, so
you're right. It's a
it doesn't matter what the settings are. Yeah.
So what do you take away from this trade, and what was your goal? You're a win now team, right?
I don't have nothing to say about this trade. So I traded. I gave Couch Newsman Smooth. I gave him Brandon Ayuk, and he gave me Deebo Samuel. I love it. All I got. I'm bringing this. Chris wanted me to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it. All I want to talk about is I've been
Everyone in
doing.
the chat, give your grades. I'm going to talk about it a little bit. I think
I've been crushing the trades. That's all I know this year.
you
I've
have.
been
Look at you,
crushing
dude. You have.
the trades.
So last year,
Never done this before.
I text Hussein last year, and I'm like, "Yo, let's talk about a trade for." I can't remember the players, and he's like, "Bro, I don't trade very much." And then I was like, "Man," and I'm not saying I'm taking credit for anything, but I told him, I said that you can get an edge on people. You can get creative and think of it this way. And then I think he saw some of the trades, not by myself, but throughout the league year, and now he's like, "You're pretty gung ho. You're doing it in all leagues, redraft and dynasty. Like he's really taking it."
I haven't really. It wasn't me doing anything. So Sue
They
Shane
were
sent
coming to
me a
you.
few trades, and in that Empire League, I'm tanking, so I got to sell like my, I got to sell my running backs and stuff. So I was more so forced to.
I see the effort, bro.
I
I
love
see the effort.
what is this collusion? I love it. That's what I want right there. Collusion. That's I mean, that's the bit. Someone gave me a grade A. I love this, being accused of colluding. That's what I want. That means I killed it.
Both sides. I mean, they're almost this, very similar in age. I think Ayuk's 23. I'd have to look it up here. Give me a sec. And then Deebo, I believe, is 26,
25.
right?
I think he's 25 and 23.
So
yeah.
Ayuk is 23. I mean, it's 2 years difference. It's not much. They're both going to be getting balls from Lance here shortly. And for example, that's going to make both their stocks go up, I think, long term. And Ayuk will put it together, but this is a dynasty league. So like I was saying, you got to hold on Ayuk if it's dynasty. But if you're in a win now mode, Deebo this year has a pretty big, difference in terms of value in comparison to Ayuk at this point. So
I like Ayuk, but I mean, I've always been a Deebo fan, and I've never been sold on this Ayuk in round 4 in redraft and early round 5. Like I've drafted Ayuk in 0 leagues this year, so it was like, it's not that I hated him. I just think he was overhyped.
I didn't get him in any leagues either.
But what's wrong with Deebo for win later?
No,
he's 2 years. He's 2 years older. I get that. I mean, that is something, but I don't think it's a big deal.
I mean, maybe Chris could have asked you for a little bit more in this trade in your
analysis
there.
People are big mad in the league, by the way. So
they're saying he could have got what, like a second or third round pick, something like that, on top of.
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying that someone said they would have gave him more for that. Like, why? People are mad at this trade in the league. Rightfully so. I mean, I crushed it. What could I say? I think it's a great trade for me. I consulted with the podcast crew before I did it.
So yeah, there's some Smos defenders here though, for sure, and I'm one of them too. I would say. I mean, I have Deebo in 2 of my dynasty leagues.
You guys are wrong, because somebody just came and said that they would have gave him more. Like, no, already in the league. Right. You guys are wrong. I mean, what are you gonna say?
I'm just saying, I don't think he lost too much in this case. If anything,
we could say he's tanking better now. He's gonna be doing the tank job's even better now.
Yeah, you're right. That could be true. He's gonna have a better pick next year if Ayuk kind of keeps the same.
What do you know? I mean, Ayuk could just start balling out, because I do like him. I love that his wingspan.
The injuries, right? Deebo's a little more injury prone, maybe up until this point in his career.
Well, now maybe,
too, right? So
now maybe I don't know. Yeah,
I'm trying to pull for straws here, like at least something.
Yeah. That's the thing, is you don't know. Like, I'm still a fan of Ayuk, so maybe he does turn it on next year. And like,
maybe they don't resign Deebo because he's coming up on a contract year quicker. I don't know.
I'm
just saying. You already have all his jerseys signed.
For life.
Yeah, you have his jersey. Like,
I do have a Deebo jersey. I totally forgot about that.
Behind you, dude.
I forgot. Well, it's hard to hang with the setup I got. I didn't plan for this, but I do need to get at least one of the. I should probably frame the Deebo and Justin.
Did you see I got the Sac State thing in here? Look, that's pretty cool. Yeah. No, you're hating it.
No one even knows what that is. Yeah, what is it? It's like a green hornet.
I was at a work thing and someone gave it to me. So yeah.
I mean, it's definitely better than the white wall, though. So
it is. It's better than the white wall.
What I always say is always try to improve. That's all you can do as humans. Like, one big mistake is you try to be perfect right away. And this is in fantasy as well. All you can do is improve. All you can do is try to get this win this week. Focus on everything else later. You can't do everything in 1 hour.
No, speaking of wins this week, let's get to Nathan's question, and I'll go through a couple couple more questions, guys, but I'll read it. Nathan says PPR pick only 2. We have Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, KJ Osborne, Mike Davis, and Marquez Callaway. What do you say, Couch?
Well, not Osborne.
And not Callaway,
Probably
right?
not Callaway, yeah. So
We're just rolling them out now.
We're gonna be riding the Mike Davis hype train, I think. And so now that leaves us with Mooney and Claypool.
Is Claypool healthy? I don't have any Claypool stock. I sold him in one league, so
well, he's been. Everyone's drafting Steelers wide receivers like Big Ben was good, so they were wrong about that one. I'm going with Mooney against the. Apparently, the Raiders suck, so that's good. We're back to hey, I'm getting harassed on social media from old posts of old anti-Raider posts that weren't even my opinions. I was just quoting what Vegas said, and I'm apparently still getting harassed, and I got great responses though. This guy was like, "This aged poorly," and I was like, "Let me respond." I was like, I got it. I said 28-3. I was like, bro, because he said, "Is this my Raiders take?" Which is not even a take aged poorly. I'm like, it's only been 3 weeks. That's before the Raiders. I was like 28-3. Like, come on, wait. Can we at least wait a quarter of the season to be over? Like, they already took. All right, Derek Carr's already pouting. He's putting on more of that goth eyelash. He's doing. He's putting on that goth eyelash, listening to some alternate rock music loud. Man. Parents is like, turn that music down. Shut up, Mom. I got a game to play. I'm the passing leader in the NFL. We'll see.
Raiders games are pretty fun to go to, though. They're pretty intense, if you can imagine. People show up 5 hours early in a line just to tailgate. I mean, that was.
I think it's the opposite. Well, I hate people, so you get a whole dose of people there. So I'm the total opposite. I'd never go to a Raider game in my life.
I wanted to go back to Rick's question because he had such a good comment about the collusion. So we got to answer his question. So Rick says Sutton or Leviska, full PPR. What do the algorithms say? And then what does the gut say?
That's a good. Well, I mean, Sutton's going up against the Steelers.
I like Leviska.
Low scoring game.
With Chark out now, they have Arnold, which is going to take a little bit targets away from him now, I think, because they'll go to Arnold more often. Marvin Jones didn't have a great game last week, and Leviska did have a better game. I'm going to say Leviska. You give your algorithm some.
I'm going to look at the cornerback matchups, and so you got Leviska Shenault going against the Titans, and then we have Sutton going against the Steelers. It's not that big of a difference. This is a tough one. This is a really.
I usually pick terrible questions too, right?
Yeah, no. This is no. You just stumped me.
You guys don't ask bad questions.
I guess I'm gonna go with Sutton.
Okay, that's good.
So
we disagree on this one, but the algorithm.
Yeah, it's very close though. I mean, it's very I'm not I love Leviska this week. I mean, it's and that Marvin Jones Leviska that means nothing. So we just got to look at this week. And I like both Marvin Jones and Leviska this week. Yeah, I mean they're going against the Titans. They're going to need to throw. I mean, this is one of those games where Jaguars will still lose, okay? But it's one of those games where they have hope. This is like we have hope we might win. And that's good. That could mean it's a close game, and maybe Trevor Lawrence doesn't have any turnovers or too many turnovers.
Yeah, maybe Urban Meyer is still the coach in week 6.
Oh gosh, that guy.
We could save that for another podcast.
Somebody defended Urban Meyer on Twitter. I muted him so quick. I'm like, stop. Not because if you give me something valid, I'm open, I'm open-minded, but he gave me something really stupid.
The reflection video was really bad though. I don't know if that was
Yeah.
That's
So
just
after
ridiculous.
I muted that guy, I
What
posted
was
that.
he was even looking at him like, "No, no, 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 no," and
Yeah,
it's like,
some
"Oh my god,
for
man, are you
those that
serious?"
can you bring that up? Put it on the tab. Can
Oh,
you bring that
are we
up?
bringing in the Couchcast doc? Oh,
No,
man.
you just paste the Twitter link instead of going, in that tab on my Twitter. So yeah, so the Urban Meyer is doing an
Oh, so on your
interview,
Twitter.
and this guy comes in without a shirt on. It looks so weird. Yeah, it's like Urban Meyer. We can do an Urban Meyer timeline. That's what this guy's.
Oh,
Oh
I've read the
man,
Urban Meyer timeline, actually. It's
he's got best hits or worst hits compilation, like fail compilation.
okay, I'm getting down there further. I don't really
His
Yep, there it
wife's
is.
comment. See, I don't
So,
even
do you
know
want me to
about
just
this.
copy paste this?
Yeah,
So
you can share a new tab. You're supposed to know this stuff. There's
okay,
several ways to do this. You just show it.
I'm gonna try this, guys. And then
And you zoom in on it, show that. Let's see what question I didn't see what his wife said.
okay, hold on.
I
Let me put it
trust
out.
you.
Yeah, let me hold on. Let me do this real quick. And I gotta
Trade
stop there. Hold on. Yeah, go through a couple questions.
trade
I'm
Tyreek
doing this.
Hill for CMC. Yeah, I like Christian McCaffrey more than Tyreek Hill.
Okay, hold on one sec. All right. How does that look? Not too
That's it.
bad.
Zoom in a couple more times. Apple
Got it.
Plus. One more. There we go. One more, maybe. Or not's good.
Okay, I think we're good here.
Yeah. Let's see this gem.
I mean, is this real life? I mean, I heard he's a party guy, but dude is like with his shirt off. You can see
And then
what's in his hand.
take your cursor off to the. Yeah, so Urban Meyer's doing an interview, and then Chad walks in without a shirt. He offers Urban Meyer something cool, and he's like, "Nah, nah, nah, not now, not now, not now." He's like that.
No, that's the best part. It's still coming up. He's about to
Yeah.
like start shaking his head. I think it was just after he's done with the sentence. It's almost like me when I'm like looking at my wife, like, "Oh, I'll be done here in a moment." Look at that.
Yeah, he's like, no, 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 no. He's like, no. He is
Look at
no.
that face. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay,
We can
I
only
think we're good.
speculate what it was. I mean, that guy got to be so stupid. It's obvious he's doing an interview. It's first of all, that's Urban Meyer. Like that's probably your friend.
That
If
guy
you
gave
see him
no
doing an
you know
interview,
what.
like, and he's like, "Hey, do you want some?" And he's like, "No, no, not now, not now." Like, what? Like, dude, like, put it away. This is so
Oh man.
stupid.
Yeah, the whole thing was just terrible. Did you
No,
see any other good questions? I don't want to get the same one. You did the CMC for Tyreek one.
yeah, trade Lockett for AJ Brown. That's a
That was
great
the
one. I
best.
do
I should
it.
have asked. I should have
I
put that one
do
up
it.
earlier.
I'd go
I
get
would.
AJ Brown. We had him as a buy low, right? I don't
Yeah,
remember anything.
absolutely. He was.
He
He
was
was
a
a buy
buy
low.
low, and now
And
this
they.
is
He
full
commented when I.
circle. I feel like James is giving me like a high, like I feel like he's giving me a alley oop here. That's what he is. It's alley oop.
That's a
He gave me a
second
nice
good one by
toss.
James, huh?
I'm 6'11", easy. I mean, I would definitely do that. I mean, I don't. That's so. Tell me, is that
Is that
trade
ideal?
realistic? Like, because right now Lockett has been eating poop the past couple of weeks. Like, so his stock is so low. If you can
That's why we
pull
got to
that
lobby for those
off,
pass interference penalties, guys. Lockett would be doing a lot better. No, I'm
that ain't
joking.
gonna that ain't gonna happen.
We're digressing here. Well, I don't know. How many other questions did we go through while I was fumbling around with Urban Meyer? I'm trying to see.
Not that many.
Well, do you want anything else to want to bring up anything else before we call it quits?
Well, with the Sutton question, I just wanted to say that Teddy Bridgewater is trending towards the right direction. So I just assumed he's gonna play, but I don't know for sure if it's
Locke
gonna
didn't
be
look very good
Bridgewater
though,
or
huh?
Locke.
Locke
Locke
oh
Locke looked
god.
like he looked like Drew Locke to me.
If Locke is playing guys, that's a problem, though. That
Yeah,
is
I
a
think that
problem.
would push it to start Leviska if
Yeah,
Locke is
it would be
playing.
100% Leviska in my mind.
I mean, I Drew Locke against that Steelers defense.
Oh God, that's brutal.
Oh gosh, here's a fun one. What do
Oh
you say
man.
to this, Drew? You got to read it.
Wow.
You got to
Okay,
read it. The
so
audience.
so our great friend from well, he's in a lot of my leagues, but the draft party league,
Quote unquote friend, because he
Sushane.
threw away my ring. He's got to earn it. He's got to earn his trust back. But
Oh, that's funny you
definitely
brought
a
that up.
couch captain. Couch
Uh,
captain. Couch captain. A couch fam OG.
and so this is Sushane, guys. He says best guess for Lance's stat line this week. I might have to think a little bit more on this. I'm assuming he gets at least, though, in the neighborhood of 225 to 250 passing yards. I think he probably throws at least 2 touchdowns and at least 1 interception. Now, the real stat line, I think the difference-making stat line is going to be how many rushing yards he would have and if he loses any fumbles. Because we all know rookie quarterbacks sometimes don't protect the ball so well. So I'm assuming he'll get at least, I think he gets 6 or 7 carries. So he'll get like 60, 70 yards next game. That was a long answer.
I'm not gonna go with the stat line exactly because I think this is how it is, right? If he plays it right, let's say he has a good performance or he does well, he doesn't look lost out there, which I don't expect him to. The defense does something, he reacts. The defense does something else, he does something else. Shanahan goes this way with the play, he goes that way, and it makes the play. So it's not about how many pass yards or rush yards. It's about keeping the drive alive and scoring touchdowns.
You're thinking that way. Okay.
I'm thinking he's going to get 27 fantasy points. It's a lot.
This is great. I gave like exact stats that I thought you literally just gave a number of fantasy points.
Well, bro,
that's perfect.
If they converge on him like the Broncos did to the Ravens, then what do we see last week? Deebo was wide open, right? So it's like, if I can't tell you which one they're gonna do, but I can tell you that I think he's gonna do well, and whatever the defense is doing, he'll do something else. Let's say the whole play is messed up and the offensive line messes up, he can still rush and get 5 yards off that broken play. What you guys saw with Lance rushing, guys, he was very timid because he knows, like, after him, like, he can't get hurt. You know what I mean? I've seen this man play in college. Like, he is a linebacker. He is crazy. Yeah, he is such a talented runner. That's the thing. Like, Justin Fields, like, he shocked me with his 40 time. Absolutely love Justin Fields' 40 time. He's fast. But, like, as far as a talented runner, Trey Lance is way better as a runner. Much slower 40 time, 4.55 40 time versus 4.44. I get that. Like, if they raced straight line in gym shorts, Justin Fields would beat him. But I'm talking about as a talented runner, Trey Lance is better because he's a running back, he's a quarterback, and he's got this linebacker in him. Like, it's crazy. He's the defenses will fear that. Cardinals D is pretty good and is going to be a mismatch against Trey Lance. Good pass rushers. They're going to get to him. I don't think their corners are that good.
Too.
I don't. Their safeties are good. Yeah. So
Baker.
So he's going to have to do some things that he's not comfortable with, that maybe he's struggling with his accuracy, and he's got to overcome that. So it's definitely a big mismatch. But I feel like in the game, in the moment, he will step up. I'm thinking he's going to get 26 to 27 fantasy points. Hey, we'll see. And people that are telling me, like, what do you think about Cardinals D? Should I start them? Look, it's not that bad because at the end of the day, he is a rookie. Mistakes are bound to happen. So Cardinals D, I don't like starting the Cardinals D this week, but
there's worse options out there.
And that's right. I did get a rain, and Sushane threw it away, and I dug it up in the garbage. So thank you for that. But man, I got this. This is it's so valuable, when you work for it.
Oh,
it's so valuable when you find it.
It's a beauty, guys. Mine's in the other room where I'd pull it out, honestly, too.
Oh, it's amazing. Look at that. Shout out to Trophy Smack, baby.
Yeah, shout out to Trophy Smack.
Trophy Smack killing it on Shark Tank.
This is a question that came in a little while ago, so I don't know if I would. I don't know. This just doesn't seem real to me. Maybe I'm way off, but Louise says Eckler for Hunt and Hilaire. I was offered. Is that trade? I don't know. Eckler? Does
Yeah,
he?
it's real. It's real. I like the Eckler side, but I don't think it's that. I don't know where. I think it's reasonable. I think it's
No, I
fair.
think he's that valuable. I thought. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking I'm a little higher on Hunt, and Hilaire is still the starting running back for the Kansas City Chiefs and had double-digit fantasy points, I think, the last 2 weeks. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
Eckler's
Hunt and
great,
Allaire is gonna give you 5 points each
but we talked
sometimes.
about this earlier with that D-Hop trade for Thielen and Marquise Brown. You said, well, you're going to
Well,
start
it's
Thielen
case
and
by
Marquise Brown
case.
every
Most
week.
of the
You're
time,
probably
I
going to start CEH and Hunt every week in the
yeah,
RB
but Thielen and
slots.
Hollywood is gonna put up more points, way more points than Hunt and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So I
Well, you
mean,
guys heard
okay,
it
so
here
you're
first.
taking.
Eckler is now on Hussein's list.
Well, that's my
Just
hands
messing
down
around.
my biggest miss.
Hey, you can admit to
I'm
that.
not as high on him. I'm still have some concern with him. I'm not a complete believer, but other than the facts, other than he's been crushing it, he's an absolute mismatch out on the field. He's a weapon. He's the queen in chess. He can go any direction. I thought he was a bishop, but he's a queen. It's a chess reference. That's not a
You're a
like a.
value guy, though, so I could see why you didn't like him initially because of the value, but now that he's proven you kind of the
Yeah,
other way.
he's crushing it, and the Chargers are a team where you don't know where they're going to hit you. It's not just Mike Williams, it's not just Keenan Allen, and that makes everyone that much more lethal. Like you can't just double and stop somebody, and
No, you got a point.
so I like the Eckler side more. The only my biggest concern with that, and I don't even want to put that, but if Eckler gets hurt, now you're like totally done. Now you're like, oh man, I wish I had two,
2 running backs, yeah.
RB2s. Yeah, two decent running backs. I could start every week. Other than that, but no, man, it's no. Your point is valid as well, depending on your situation and your league. Maybe starting, 2 or 3 running backs is more important, but I
If
think
you
you
have
go with
2
the
flex spots,
quality.
maybe? Yeah, if you have 2 flex spots, I'm in a league like that where you have 2 flex spots, maybe you think differently.
So you might start 4 running backs. Who
You
wants to do
can.
that? I guess on
Well,
some.
I mean,
I guess if
you
none
could
of them's
start
on
3
bye.
safely at that point. Here's a question, though, this is a
This is the
dynasty
last one.
question.
Last question.
So
We'll
Andrew
end it.
says, "I traded DK for Woods in a 3rd rounder next year. Thoughts?"
That's terrible.
I was gonna say, yeah, I
Yeah,
would
it's a
stay with
terrible trade.
DK. DK is way more valuable long term, and Woods, good. I could pull it up. I think he's 29.
29. Yeah, that's terrible trade.
And the 3rd round pick next year is
In this trade is worthless. So
yeah,
you
because if
got
this guy took DK to the playoffs, now that's a late 3rd round.
yeah, you got
Ooh,
duped because the 3rd round is a free. See, a 3rd round in a lackluster, the opposite of a blockbuster is a lackluster trade, right? In a lackluster trade, a 3rd round pick, that's going to make a difference. That's like, oh man, nice, you threw that in. Let's go, let's hit accept.
right,
In this
right.
trade, a 3rd rounder makes almost no difference. It just makes you feel better, right? Like,
Slightly,
like you got
slightly better.
like you got spit all on your face, but you get like a quarter of a tissue. You still got spit in your face. I mean, it's great that you got a quarter tissue to wipe it away, but I mean, you got this fat, I love New York loogie on your face. It's not looking good.
I think we got to end it there. This
I
is too funny.
Fishy said I told you that trade was trash for you. Yeah, it's a horrible trade. I broke it down, and we're gonna end it there. Leave a review on the podcast, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.